Hi, I'm Nick Ravelis, the Geisel Director of Education and Outreach for San Diego Opera. If you're looking very carefully and you've got HD on your computer, you see I've got lots of heavy makeup on. That's because I had a little bit of a cycling accident this past weekend. But luckily we have a makeup department, so I'm
a very good one.
I'm in good shape. But enough about me. Let's talk with Danielle de Niese, who is Norina in our upcoming production of Don Pasquale. Welcome.
Thank you, Nick.
It's so terrific having you. We've been waiting for you for a long time. And I've got to tell you, my introduction to you was the Cleopatra from Glyndebourne, which of course is on
DVD.
DVD,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I promise you my brain is still okay, although I'm not remembering everything very well. But what a charming production, and how wonderful you were in it. You just popped in that production. And what I'm going to ask you, the director, David McVicker, because I'm sure lots of our audience have seen the DVD and have seen or at least portions of the production, or they've gone on YouTube and seen some of the clips where you're doing these amazing Bollywood routines to music by Handel. But it all works so well. How was it working with McVicker?
He's amazing. David McVicker is one of my favorite people in the world. You know, when we started this production, I wasn't actually scheduled to be Cleopatra in this show. I wasn't scheduled to be at Glyndebourne at all, and very few people know that, because when they see the DVD, they come up to me and they say, you know, this was tailor-made for you. This production was tailor-made for you. And I say, well, actually, it wasn't intended for me. It was intended for someone else, but that singer got sick. And so it was 1 month and a half before that I was called. I was originally scheduled to go to Glyndebourne in 2006 for Adele in Die Fledermaus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and so they called me and they said, do you want to come a summer early, because we've lost our Cleopatra and Bill Christie really wants you, and you know they're really betting for you.
Wow.
So when I got there, the first routine of Cleopatra's first aria, Non Disperar, was already choreographed. I literally shook hands with David McVicker, and he said, it's great that you're here. You know, it's nice that you're here. I'm really happy to have you. Get up on there on stage. Let's get cracking. Because I was a week late because I had other performances. So you know, because it was a last minute thing, and you know, in 5 minutes it was sort of 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. You know, and off we went. And when they had set out, I think 3 hours for the first aria, and we were done in 1 hour. I think they went,
there you go. They breathed a sigh of relief.
Well, looks like she's quite good at that. Like that, you know, and so they had the idea at first to do the first aria and the last aria choreographed. But then as this grew, you know, and this is the magic of creating new productions, new ideas come. You know, you look at the people that you're working with and you think, oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity.
What can they do?
Yeah, so then suddenly David, completely, and David came up with the idea of turning her second aria into a brawly aria, you know, with the Charleston and everything. And so, you know, and he was sort of sending Andrew George, the brilliant choreographer, away and going, okay, I want you to come up with this number, you know, I've just had this idea. Go off for like an hour and think of something to go with that, and then come back, you know. And so we come back, and then we just made up lots of amazing things, all of us together. David was incredibly involved as well. That production for me was a milestone, obviously, in my career.
Course.
Definitely.
Yeah,
but I have to say that when we were a part of it, it was one of the most inspirational moments, really, of my life. And we had a sense that it was going to be great.
But it is. It's just, it is.
There was a lot of buzz. Like even in the rehearsals, people were going like, "Oh, this is going to be good."
It is amazing, and it's such fun. And I've got to say that Giulia Cesare is truly one of my favorite operas, and it's certainly my favorite Baroque opera.
No, it's
so to see it done that way, not sort of pushing the envelope in the sense that, you know, the Eurotrash
No, I mean that was the special thing about the show. It wasn't frivolous.
There's something very reverential about it in terms of the music, and it was the kind of thing at the end of it I could say, I think old Georg Friedrich probably would have enjoyed this, because
I think so.
There's great humor in the score. There's great humor in the script. It is an
incredibly light-ish score that turns dark very quickly, which I think is the mark of a really great sort of comedy tragedy.
The other thing I find interesting is that in your CV is the fact that you've done an awful lot of early music with these great early music conductors like René Jacobs, Nicolas Haim, William Christie.
Yes.
What is it like to work with Christie?
Oh, Bill Christie's one of my mentors. He's really the person that was at the very beginning of it all.
So you worked with Les Arts Florissants before?
Yeah. Well, what happened was the first time that I went to Europe, I went to sing with Mark Minkowski.
Right.
In a new production of Julius Caesar.
Also Paris-based.
No, this was in Amsterdam at the Netherlands Opera, and I then went to Paris the next year to do another production of Julius Caesar with Mark. And at Paris, they were thrilled with what we were doing, and they were very enthusiastic about me. And I had done an audition for them years ago, and before I even went there as Cleopatra, they had said to me, you can choose which role you would like to do. Would you like to do Susanna, or would you like to do Cleopatra? And I was thinking, what am I going to do? Because I love Susanna. And I'd done Susanna before Cleopatra, but I felt that for a debut, Cleopatra would be a great role because it really exhibitions the voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all the dramatic elements. Not that Susanna doesn't, but Susanna, it's the very centerpiece of a big ensemble piece. So I thought Cleopatra would show me off a little bit more. And that went really well. And then they offered me a chance to do my first French Baroque music. So I'd done a lot of Italian Baroque, not a lot, but I'd done 2 Cleopatras anyway, which is, it's doing sort of like the benchmark of Baroque music when you do Julius Caesar. But it was with the great William Christie.
And was this Les Indes Galantes?
This was Les Indes Galantes, which is also on DVD from 2003, an incredible production of André Serban. I sing one whole aria sitting on some guy's hand. It's insane.
That is an amazing production. I love the postcards coming down. It's
such a great show. I loved working on that show. And it was such a big moment for me to work with Bill Christie, because he was Bill Christie. And, I had never sung any French Baroque music before. They had shown him my Julius Caesar, and I auditioned for the staff there, but I didn't get a chance to audition for him, and he always wants to have people audition for them. So, but on a wing and a prayer, he trusted the Paris National Opera, having heard me sing French Baroque music. And then there I went to do that, and the beginning of an amazing friendship was born, because thank God on that first musical, things went well, and he was very happy, and I was so starstruck by him. But then he was just such a wonderful person, and he's a real hard worker. He's someone who's incredibly driven. That can be viewed as demanding, but I think demanding is a really good thing. I think it's good to demand a lot of yourself, and I like when people demand a lot of me, because then it brings out the best in me. So this meant that we just clicked. We have a similar personality, and we love music. And when you meet people who love music as much as you love music, that's tangible. That feeling, it becomes a bond.
Well, and then it's playing.
And
you don't mind working hard because you're...
No, and Bill has an incredible amount of musical temperament. He has a sense of dramatic pacing that I've never seen on another Baroque conductor. He's the kind of person that, especially because we work so well together, when I look down at him on the podium and he's smiling at me, I feel we have a true connection there, and it's one of love and joy, and that is something you can't replicate. You can't make that happen. That just happens, or it doesn't happen. So
that's fantastic.
No, he's wonderful, and he's been there with me, and then I worked with Les Arts Florissants. I've been on tour with them. I did other productions with them, Poppea, Così fan tutte, all throughout the last 5-6 years, and so we're very close. And he also agreed to do my first album, Handel arias, and Bill Christie has done so many recordings, but they've all been of William Christie and Les Arts Florissants. So this was the first non-Les Arts Florissants label recording that he agreed to do with his orchestra. So I was incredibly honored that he said yes to that.
Well, now, with all of that early music background, particularly the Handel, you're essaying your first Norina. It's not your first Donizetti, because I see that you've done Adina in L'Elisir d'Amore, with Elixir of Love, for those of you who are paying attention. How does that work in earlier music prepare you for Donizetti? Is it any more difficult? Is it similar? Did it help prepare you at all?
It's interesting. I did study some of the Donizetti scenes when I was a young artist in the program, and I have to tell people who often think that I'm a Baroque specialist. Sorry, we'll cut it. You can cut it, right?
No, I'm just going to turn it off. No, I can't answer you. Stop.
Todd.
Slide. Okay. Sorry, gang.
What were we talking about? I forgot now. Oh yes.
Preparing for
Donizetti. Yeah, I'd done some of the Donizetti scenes when I was a young artist in the Met's Lindemann Young Artist Program, so I definitely had my taste of it. When I started to make a career in Europe, most people thought that I was a Baroque specialist, but actually I didn't specialize in Baroque music. My big strength was Mozart when I was a young artist in the program. So I was doing Susanna, Despina, Zerlina, Ilia, Pamina. These kind of roles were what I was studying. It so happened I went to Europe as Cleopatra, and then snowballed from there. And then what that gave me was a huge gift of allowing my voice to grow without the pressure of a full-sized orchestra. Because I was so much younger than everyone else. I mean, I was 21 when I made my European debut. I just gotten out of the program. I got into the Young Artist Program when I was 18, so that's unheard of. And you know, so most people when they're in their early 30s starting a career, I was starting in my just 21, you know. So that was obviously a certain amount of pressure, but also I have a young growing voice at that age, and so if I'd gone and sung Donizetti then, I might not even be here now.
Well, and we all have to remember that Don Pasquale, particularly being 1843, was one of the last operas that Donizetti wrote. He only wrote one more, so the orchestra is even bigger.
It's a big orchestra
than the usual Donizetti orchestra.
Absolutely.
It's huge.
And I wanted to wait. I mean, I purposefully stayed away from making this step into the sort of bel canto because I felt I needed to grow still with Mozart and Handel and this earlier genre. So I turned down offers to do these roles because I was always saying I can't wait to do Adina and Norina, and of course then offers came in and I thought, no, not yet. And how has it helped? In many ways, in terms of stamina, Handel heroines are a killer. I mean, you have to sing 10 arias, it's poof, and they're all like 10 minutes long, so you have to have an incredible amount of stamina, and that I have. What has been new for me is just the difference in style of bel canto. It's a strange thing because I don't feel like I engage any less for Mozart or for Handel, but there's this different level of concentration that I find is needed for bel canto. Maybe it's because it's new to me. That could be, you know, I'm thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it when I'm on stage, but as I'm preparing it, it's a step up. It's gonna up the ante a little bit for me. It's gonna take my voice to a different place. It's gonna take my technique to a different place, and I like that. You know, that's why I'm doing it now. So yeah, I think it's a learning curve for me, to be honest, and that's one of the great things about coming here to do it, is that there's such a nurturing environment here, and everyone is so helpful, and you know, they're there. They're there, and they're there to help, and they're there to guide you. So I'm really thrilled to be here to do that.
Well, and you've only been here a week, but we love you already.
Oh, I love you guys too. No, I know it's been a week, but it feels like it's been forever. You know, it's one of those things where you meet people and you just go, I just love it. I love these people. I love being here, and then it makes it, you know, feel like you've been there longer, because it's
and so rehearsals are going well?
Rehearsals are going brilliantly. We've actually almost staged the whole opera in 1 week.
Wow, that's great.
It's pretty nuts, actually, because it's very complicated.
That's what we target, since we only have 3 weeks to get a show up.
Exactly. And quite interestingly, this production is in the Wild West, so I don't know if any of you guys have seen Maverick. Mel Gibson, but I'm totally channeling a tiny bit of Jodie Foster in Maverick, just because I love that film. When they told me it was in the Wild West, I said, so basically I'm going to be playing Jodie Foster's character in Maverick, because Norina is quite like that. She's very wily and charming, but quite sincere at the same time, but you know, incredibly smart.
But she's also one of those Italian opera buffa heroines who has a very stiff backbone. I mean, there's an iron rod. In
well,
that
no
lady.
doubt. No,
she knows exactly what she wants, and she's gonna get it.
Yeah, and she's full of character, and she's full of fire, and I think that it makes her rather, for female characters, you said with backbone, rather decisive, and it can look a little overbearing actually, but I think behind it is a great deal of sincerity. I think she feels a true love for Ernesto, and so you know, to that end, she will do anything. Then you know, and if it, and I think she considers herself a rather brilliant actress. So you know, I think it's in her to sort of incarnate characters. You know, this is a great scene where she's sort of like pacing about, going like, you know, okay, what do you want? Sad? You know. Happy, no, despair, you know, and he's like, nah. So, you know, that is in the text there. I mean, that shows that she's, you know, she likes the idea of like playing a character.
It's great fun that we have Norina and Rosina back to back.
Yeah, no, they'll be very.
We're doing Pasquale and we're doing Barbiere. That we'll have the opportunity in San Diego to compare these two opere buffe. You know, they're both from the same tradition, but very different. The approaches are quite unique, I think.
I don't know what the next production is going to be like. What is the style of it?
It's
looks a little bit more traditional.
But it's not. It's,
oh, really?
No, it's the inspiration for the sets were, I'm going to get the name wrong. The paintings by De Chirico, is that right? It's not coming to mind at the moment, but it's a very different sort of take on Rossini. So you've got pieces, both costume pieces and set pieces that are traditional, but the backgrounds are taken from these crazy paintings.
Oh, wonderful!
Magritte,
okay.
With the hats and the apples.
Okay.
It's very strange and very interesting, and works.
Look forward to seeing a bit of it.
Works beautifully. Maybe
are they going to go up into rehearsal while we're still here?
I think so.
Great.
Everything is back to back this year.
I know.
It feels.
Well, yeah. I've seen just the last little bit of Moby Dick, so yeah.
So listen, thank you very much for coming in. We're delighted to have you. I feel fine, and I'm 20 times better now having talked to you. So thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing your Norina.
See you guys at Don Pasquale.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.